and ho, who's there?
Friends to this ground.
Paula Bernardo.
Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him?
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story, what we have two-nights seen. This last night of all, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace! Break thee off! Look where it comes again!
In the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio!
Looks he not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. He harrows me with fear and wonder.
Would be spoke to?
Speak to it, Horatio!
What art thou that usurpest this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did by sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak.
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Thus twice before and jumpeth this dead hour with martial stock hath he gone by our watch.
What particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of mine opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. But soft! Behold, lo where it comes again! I'll cross it though it blast me. Say, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me.
'Tis gone.
I was about to speak when the cock crew.
Break we up our watch, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen to young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it as needful in our loves, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most convenient.
You're a paper cut-out victim. You're a pitiful sight. They just don't know what you've been through.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it does befit it to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think of him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and dropping eye, with mirth and funeral, and dirge and marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair alone, for all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What dost thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, though now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards prince and bow them for gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slothing. I do beseech you give me leave to go.
Take that fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and let thy best graces spend it as they will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin, and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veilless lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Well, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river of the eye, nor the dejected havior of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me, truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passes show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound, in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of most impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as thy father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, bend you, to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eyes, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Ease yourself in Denmark. Madam, come.
Oh, but this too solid flesh would melt, thaw and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie upon it, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown with what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on frailty, thy name is woman, a little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month she married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. But what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio?
Truant disposition, my good lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so. I know you are no truant. But come, what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray they do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Oh, my father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear till I may deliver this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together have the gentlemen Marcellus and Barnado, on their watch in the dead waste and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure much like your father appears before them, and with solemn march. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, whereas they had delivered, both in time formed the thing, each word made true and good the apparition comes. I knew your father, and these hands were not more like.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it not.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and I did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
And fixed his eyes upon you.
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
Would have much amazed you.
I will watch tonight. Perchance we'll walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your love. So, very well, upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you. Farewell. My father's spirit, in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell, and sister, as the winds give benefit and convey as assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Think it, no more. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear. His greatness swayed his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own wreath.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long. Here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Oh, yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. Look thou character, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in bed the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I've said to you. 'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he has said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Very well the thought. 'Tis told me very often late he hath given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affections to me.
Affection, bah! You speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in an honorable fashion.
High fashion, you may call it. Go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. From this time be something scanter of your maiden presence, and set your entreatments at a higher rate than the commands of Paul, for Lord Hamlet, believe in him so much that he is young, and with a longer tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. Oh, it is very cold.
It's a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. And then draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us! Oh, be thou a spirit of health or goblin dam. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. Oh, I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell me why thy canonized bones, her said in death, have burst their cerements. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go with
No,
it.
by no means.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it tempts you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it!
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You cannot go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go!
By heaven, I'm like a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away. Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me,
I will.
my hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Oh, alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge, when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fasting fires, to the foul crimes done in my days of nature, are burnt and purged away. If thou didst ever thy dear father love,
Oh, God.
revenge is foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Oh, haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt, now Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, With witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts, thus was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand, a life of crown, of queen at once dispatched. Oh, horrible, most horrible. But whosoever thou pursues this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Oh, all you host of heaven. Oh, earth, what else shall I couple hell? Oh, fie. Hold my heart, huh? And you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee. Aye, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all forms, all pressures past that youth and observation copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter, yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain, smiling, damned villain, my tables, meet it is, I set it down, that one may smile, and smile and be a villain. At least, I am sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord, my lord.
How is it, my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
But you'll be secret?
I, by heaven, my lord.
I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business and desire, shall point you, for every man hath business and desire, such as it is, and for my poor part, I will go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you. Heartily, yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear, by my sword.
Swear.
And lay your hands again upon my sword. Swear by my sword, never to speak of this that you have heard.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd some'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such times, seeing me, never shall, with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me, this to swear. So grace and mercy at your most need help you.
Swear.
Rest, perturbed spirit, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
You hide your lies, now look in my eyes and agree. You want what's best for you and me. choked on your words. I thought I'd never return to the surface until you found me. Coincidentally, I know you've got control of me.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and down jived to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love.
My lord, I do not know, but truly I fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way out without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last spended their light on me.
Come, go with me. We will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property bedoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not courted him. Feared he did but trifle and meant to rack thee. It was true my jealousy. Come, go with me to the king. This must be known.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it? Sith the exterior, nor the inward man, resembles what it was, what it should be more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and sith so neighbour to his youth and haver, so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am to men there is not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, dear Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, dear Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you both instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
My good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to do, that I found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Well, I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death, and our over-hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sit then.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all, that he is mad. 'Tis true, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity, 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect, for this effect, defective, comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus perpend. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, whom in her duty and obedience Mark hath given me this. Now gather and surmise.
To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear thus.
In her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Came these from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful.
Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Thine evermore most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet.
This in obedience hath my daughter shown me.
But how hath she received his love?
Now, when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you? And to my young mistress thus I did bespeak, Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescript gave her that she should lock herself from his resorts, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repelled, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence to a watch, thence to a fast, thence to a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very like.
How may we try it further?
You know he walks some 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll lose my daughter to him. You and I, behind an arasta, mark the encounter.
We'll try it.
Oh, but look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Oh, well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Oh, excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true.
Or if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. Said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone. And truly in my youth I suffered such extremity for love very near to this. I will speak to him again. My lord, what do you read?
Words. Words. Words.
What's the matter, my lord?
Oh, between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Oh, slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams.
Oh, this be madness. Yet there is method in it. My lord, will you walk out of the air?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that's out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter.
My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part withal, except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Very well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
My honored lord!
My most dear lord!
My excellent good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern, Rosencrantz? Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
What's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then, 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one 'tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly, and I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that it is but a shadow's shadow.
But, in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, come, deal justly with me. Come, come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. I have, of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why, it appeareth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What piece of work is a man, How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties and form and moving, how express and admirable. An action, how like an angel, an apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if man delights not you, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way, and hither they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be most welcome. His Majesty shall have tribute on me. What players are they?
Even those you are wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the city.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad northwest. When the wind is, southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
Oh, my lord, I have news to tell you.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
No, buzz.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene individable, or poem unlimited.
You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. We will have a speech. Straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
Oh, prithee, say on. Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who or woe had seen the Moblid Queen?
Moblid Queen.
That's good. The Moblid Queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flame with his and room. A cloud upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her legs, and o'er teeming loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught us. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, its fortune stayed, would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Paris make malicious sport, in mixing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unrest things mortal, move them not at all, made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods, passion in the gods.
Look where he hath not turned his colour and his tears in his eyes. Prithee no more.
As well. I'll have you speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? For they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I will use them according to their demerit.
Follow him, friends. Oh, can you play the murder of Gonzaga?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, we'll have tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you, mock him not. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, can force his soul so to his own conceit, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his own conceit, and all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? Why, he would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze, indeed, the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made of. Am I a coward? Zoons, I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Oh, bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very Travis-scullion fie upon it. Bowled my brains. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he do blench, I'll know my course. For this spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power enough to assume a pleasing shape, yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very, very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, rating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we wrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem a kind of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and as I think they've already ordered this night to play before him.
That's most true, and he did beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose into these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he asked for by accident may hear affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves, that, seen unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And, for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauty should be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope that your virtues will bring him to his wonted fare again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here, gracious so please you, we will bestow ourselves. And read on this book, so that show of such an exercise may colour your loneliness. I hear him coming, let's withdraw, my lord.
To be, or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die. to sleep no more, and by asleep to say we end the heartache, and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of such a long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that the patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought and enterprises of great pith and moment. With this regard, our currents turn awry and lose the name of action. What's off to now? The fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have some remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Aha, are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
Well, that if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool. Nowhere but in his own house. Oh, farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heaven.
Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Heavenly powers restore him.
I have heard of your paintings too. Well enough, huh? God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, and you amble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, huh? I'll no more on't. It has made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. Oh, to a nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy in the rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of time and harsh. That unmatched form and stature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me. To have seen what I have seen and see what I see.
Love? His affections do not that way tend, nor the way he spake. Though it lacked formula till was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits unbrewed. And I do doubt the hatch in his clothes will be of some danger, which for to prevent, I with quick determination thus set it down, that he would speed to England. Haply the seas, and the country's different, with variable objects shall excel this something settled matter in his heart. What do you think on it?
It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said, we heard it all. My lord, you may do as you please, but if you hold it fit, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of their conference. If she find him not, then to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this simple observance that you not o'erstep the modesty of nature. For anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end both at the first and now was and is to hold, as 'twere, a mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, to scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Go, make you ready.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Oh, excellent, faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air. Promise crammed. You cannot feed capons so.
I have nothing to do with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. Oh, my lord, you played once in the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
Oh, what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they say upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Ho, ho, do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean, my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
And did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Oh, nothing.
You are merry, my
Oh,
lord.
who I?
Aye, my lord.
Why? What should a man do but be merry, For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
Oh, so long? Oh, heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Why, then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
me some light! Away!
Give her the play!
How fares my lord?
Lights, lights, lights!
What, frighted with false fire?
Good, my lord, vouchsafe me a word with
Oh, sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
is in his retirement marvelous distemper.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
My mother, you say?
Then thus she says, your behavior has struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
Oh, we shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you did once love me.
And do still by these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friends.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Oh, the recorders. Oh, let me see one. Oh, to withdraw with you, sir. Why do you go about to recover the wind of me, as if you would drive me into a toil?
My lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
Oh, I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
It is as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, here are the stars.
But these I cannot command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now. How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? Splud, do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. Oh, God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, it is like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
I will come to my mother by and by. Don't fool me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look upon. But soft. Now to my mother. Oh, heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, but not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
I like him not, nor stand it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your communion will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall on with you. Arm you. I pray you to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put about this fear which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
He's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. I warrant she'll tax him home. And as you said, my lord, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear the speech of vantage. Very well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal elder's curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my stronger tent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause, where I shall first begin in both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not enough rain in sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but to this twofold force? to be forestalled ere he come to fall, or pardon being down. Then I'll look up. My fault is past, but oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which did my murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and still retain the offense? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Bow! Stubborn knees, and hearts with strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a-praying. And now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. Why, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May. And how his audit stands, who knows, save heaven. But in our circumstance, in course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up the sword, and know thou a more horrid hent. When he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, then trip him, and that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him and tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. Pray you be round with him.
Mother!
Lord, you fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Why, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
Oh, what's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and, would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you who can speak.
Come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Why, help, ho!
Help! How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat, dead!
Me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it a king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Kill a king!
Aye, lady. It was my word. Thou wretched rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou finds to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue a hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as Dicer's oaths.
By me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
And look here, upon this picture, And on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. And look you now what follows, huh? Here is your husband. What judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet, speak to me no more. Thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, huh? Stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter my ears no more. Sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain. A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
Oh, no more!
A king of shreds and patches. Save me and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What's your gracious figure?
Alas, he is mad.
Oh, do you not come your tardy son to chide? The lapse in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest body strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him, look you, how pale he glares.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
Nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there, look, how he steals away. Oh, my father in his habit as he lived, look where he goes, even now, out at the portal.
This very coinage of your brain, this bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours to temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Mother, for love of grace, confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not, and when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For the same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. This bad begins and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reachy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Thou assured. If words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that?
Alack, I had forgot, 'tis so concluded on.
Those letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will, adders fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these unprofound heaves. You must translate. Where's your son?
Oh, mine own lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad, as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries a rat, and in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all. To you, yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and not have haunted this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand what was most fit, and, like an owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed, even on the pit of life. Where's he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, over whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no shooter shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And his vile deed we all must with our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet he hath dragged the body. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, hasten this. Come, Gertrude, we'll call our wisest friends and let them both know what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Hamlet! Lord Hamlet! What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge.
Take you me for a sponge, my lord.
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
Thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Bring me to him, hide fox and all after.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are e'en at him.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath ate of a king, and eat of that fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Oh, nothing, but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. And if your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
You will stay until you come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which hath done, must send thee hence, with very quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So it is if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so, my mother. But come, for England.
And England thou mightst not coldly set our sovereign process, which in parts at full. by letters congruent to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood, he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, however my haps, my joys will never begin.
How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if the chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. And sure, he that made us with such a large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to rust in us unused. Now, whether it be a bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, I do not know. Stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and a trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot even try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart and spurns enviously at straws. She speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss, so full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Why, how now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Lighted all with sweet flowers, which bewept to the ground did not go with true love showers.
How do you do, pretty lady?
Well, God tilt you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am maiden at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes, and up the chamber door, let in the maid that outer maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath, I'll make an end on it. I distant by sweet charity, alack, and fie for shame. Young men will do it, if they come to it, by God they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, So would I had done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must have patience, but I cannot choose but to weep to think that they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Keep her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief, which springs from her father's death, and now behold. When sorrows come, they come not in single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son's almost gone, and he most violent author of his own just removed. The people, muddied, thick, and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers, for good Polonius' death, we have done but greenly in mugger-hugger to entore him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures, or mere beasts. Last, as in containing to all these, her brother is in secret comes from France, feeds on his will, keeps himself in the clouds, and wants not the buzzers to infect his ears with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
Alack, what noise is this?
Thou vile king, give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
Tell me, Laertes, why art thou so incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
That am I guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pair, as day does to your eye.
How now, what noise? Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts.
A documented madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you and columbines. There's rue for you and some for me. We may call it herb of grace on Sundays. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thought and afflictions. Passion, hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow, all flaxen was his bow. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God of mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God be with you.
Do you see this? Oh God!
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Now, must your conscience my quittance seal, for you must put me in your heart as friend. Sith you have heard, with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which. She is so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in its sphere, I could not but buy her. And the other motive is the great love the general gender bear him, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I've aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms whose worth, if praises may go back again, but my revenge will come. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it no abuse or no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here he says, alone. Will you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live to tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
I, my lord, so you'll not overrule me to a peace?
For thine own peace, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall in charge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It rolls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for quality they say you shine.
Would out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without mask?
Why ask you this?
When Hamlet comes back, what would you undertake? To show yourself, indeed your father's death, more than in words.
To cut his throat in the church.
Revenge should have no bounds. But good, Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet return shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame. Bring you together, in fine, and wager on your heads.
And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I but an unction of a mountebank so mortal that if I gall him slightly it may be death.
Let's further think of this. This project should have a second or back that might hold if this did blast in proof. Soft, let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I will have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, wherein but sipping, if by chance he escape your venom struck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise?
One road doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sister is drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow. Grows askant the brook, and shows his hour leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she make, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clambering to hang, when an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like some creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, and she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will, when these are gone, the woman will be out.
Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
Gertrude, let's follow. Someone who had a due to calm his range. Now fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, therefore make her grave straight.
How can that be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be seo offendendo. It cannot be else, for here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. And an act hath three branches, is to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, good
Give
man.
me leave. Here lies the man. Good, here stands the water. Good, if the man go to the water and drown himself, it is will he, nil he goes, mark you that. But if the water comes to him and drowns him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentle woman, she would have been buried out of Christian burial.
What is he that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thee wit well in good faith. The gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill.
Who builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Aye, tell me that in a yoke.
Marry, now I can tell.
Well, I have heard your stories all a million times. And when you start to tell them, folks just groan. They pay you to your punchlines, but still I grin with glee. 'Cause you never get old to me. You never get old to me. See, I always know who's there in all those knock-knocks. And on every April 1st, I play a fool. But I could stay on rambling to the empty grave. 'Cause you never get old to me. Call me a sucker. What a sucker. Call me a sap. What a sap. Folks roll their eyes at you, but I still clap. 'Cause even though your fashion's not exactly trendy, you've been saying the same stupid shit for years. I renew my subscription with no cashback guarantee. 'Cause you never get old to
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician which this ass now o'erreaches. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Oh, there's another. Why might not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, His quilities, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You do lie out on, sir, therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
Well, what woman then?
For none neither.
Well, who is to be buried in?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul. She's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a gravemaker?
Faith, of all the days in the year, I came to it that last day ere King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
Ay, marry. How long was that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. Why, that was the very day young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
Why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there. Or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Oh, why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, eve with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he not be rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 year, 9 year. Here's a skull now is lying here in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
Of course a mad fellow 'twas. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for mad rogue. This same skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that?
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Oh, he hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is, my gorge rises at it. Oh, here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Now, get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, and to this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. Dost thou think Alexander looked with his fashion in the earth?
Even so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why, may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No, faith, not a jot. But to follow him thither, with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it, as thus. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth, and of earth we make loam. And why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw. But soft a while. Here come the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who's this they follow? Couch away a while, mark.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope that thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewn thy grave.
Oh, treble woe! Fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quickened dead. Love this flat a mountain you have made to overtop old Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
Oh, what is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wander-wounded heroes?
The devil take thy soul!
Oh, thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splenditive and ratchet, I have in me something dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off your hands.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet!
Good my lord, quiet.
I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
Oh,
For love of God, forbear him.
Zoons, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up Isel, eat a crocodile, I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave?
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him.
I hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself Do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your purpose in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. His grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet thereby shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now, shall you see the other? You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart, there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutines and the bilboes. Rashly, and praised be rashness for it, let us know. Sometimes our indiscretion serves us well when our deep plots do pall, and that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That's most certain.
Ere we were 2 days out at sea, up from my cabin in the dark groped I to find out them. Had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unfold their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, a royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise, no leisure bated, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear now how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Wilt thou hear the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
That on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should those bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even, and that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which is the model of that Danish seal.
So, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Oh, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, think they, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cousinage. Is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come to further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England. What is the issue of the business there?
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed. My lord, the king hath bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, sir. Remember.
Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is the very card or calendar of gentry, for in him you shall find the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
No, I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. But in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons,
The
but
king,
well.
sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe an answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, sir, the opposition of your person in trial.
Let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can, and if not, I will gain nothing but my shame, and the odd hits.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
And happy time.
Oh, the queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win, at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither, and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, it is not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now, and if it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave betimes. Let be.
Come, Hamlet. Come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardoned it, as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awaken, I here proclaim was madness. Was't Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. Let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me, so far in your most generous thoughts, that I have shot my arrow o'er the house, and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honor. I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But, till that time, I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In my ignorance, your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils on Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I fear it not. I have seen you both. But since he is better, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy, let me see another.
Ah, these like me well. These foils have all length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Come, begin, and you the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
What?
No!
Oh, judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Oh, another hit. What say you?
A touch, I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
Fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink!
I will, my lord, and I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Here, Hamlet, let me wipe my face.
I'll hit him now, my lord.
I do not think on it.
and yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come, for the third, Laertes, you do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so. Come on.
Nothing neither way.
Have at you now!
Mark them, they're in six! May come again!
Look to the queen there, ho!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
I am as a woodcock to mine own fringe utterance. I'm justly killed with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, no. The drink. Oh, the drink, my dear Hamlet. The drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy! Oh, let the door be locked! Treachery, seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and unvenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
A point in venom too. Then, venom to thy work. Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine nor my father's deaths fall not upon thee, nor thine upon me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Horatio, I am dead. Oh, wretched queen. Adieu. And you, that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mute an audience to this act, had I but time. Oh, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, oh, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
Thou art a man. Give me the cup. Let go. Oh, by heaven, I'll have it. Oh, God, Horatio. What a wounded name things, standing thus unknown, shall I leave behind me. If ever thou didst hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite will close my spirit. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. Let flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, accidental judgments, and casual slaughters, of death put on by cunning and forced cause.
and purposes mistook fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver.